as I said, you're one of the vocalists in Nepal that we've respected, we've followed for such a long time, and it's an honor to have you here and performing. How does it feel? Is this experience? This is not your first time, is it?
Yeah, it feels like I was here for a year, 10 years ago, and I felt very nostalgic when I came back, and when I was roaming the streets of Tamil, I felt like I was, like walking down a memory lane, and it's more of an emotional experience for me.
Let's rewind. Let's go right back to your childhood. Where did you grow up, and how did you get into music?
Well, I was born in Gangtok, Sikkim, and my mother herself is a singer, so probably we had a natural instinct towards it. We means me and my brother Yogesh, who is the bassist of the band right now also. And yeah, we were always a musical family. My father was always interested in art, music, although he was always more dedicated towards literature. But having said that, he was always supportive of whatever we did. And my story cannot be complete without my own brother, with whom I learned music together. And we were very dedicated no matter what. We used to learn in, like, he was a drummer at that time, and we were playing drums made out of, those painting buckets and stuff like that. And I'd put a small chain on the acoustic guitar to make it sound like distortion. Those were the
days,
times.
Yeah.
So those were the beginnings, I guess.
Growing up at that time in the 90s, what were your early influences in terms of music? Like, were you getting your hands on cassettes?
Yeah.
Were you listening it through the radio? Where were you getting the rock and roll?
Yeah, I think for everyone it all starts with, at that time it started with Eagles, Hotel California, right? So, everybody wanted their hands on that cassette, Hell Freezes Over album. So that was the first album we kind of started learning and listening to. But later on, of course, we suddenly started getting cassettes that had, Eddie on it. What the hell is this? It was like, at that time we were just learning the guitars, and when I first heard Iron Maiden, I was like, I felt it was impossible for a human to
sing like that,
play and sing like that, But eventually, no matter what, I guess it's all about being determined.
And I I had a very similar experience. But in my household, I was not allowed to listen to rock. It's only the Backstreet Boys and Michael Jackson. And then I heard,
that phase everybody.
Yeah, every time I Wanted That Way plays, I think everybody knows the song, right? Yeah. But then I heard Highway to Hell for the first time, and just your life takes off.
Exactly, right. So you get a choice right in front of you, and then I just got into rock.
Yeah, doesn't mean we won't still belt out the chorus for everybody, rock your body. So when you started, you talked about how you were, just to get distortion, you were putting chains on the guitars and everything. Talk to me about that phase. Did you know that you wanted to be a vocalist from the get-go? Did you pick up an instrument first?
I think the whole thing started with Yogesh, my brother. He started learning the guitars. I was not really interested in music, frankly speaking.
Really?
We were very young. But the thing is, I was more towards stuff like cricket, football and stuff, right? And then, but I got this small keyboard. I just started fooling around with it. And bit by bit, me and Yogesh, we kind of started playing together. Vocals was out of the scene altogether, And one day, we just went to the window and we started playing some stuff. And the entire gathering was towards the guitars, okay? I was like, okay, this instrument is not really doing anything.
This doesn't draw a crowd.
And I think as a kid, those things matter a lot and all. And then I kind of, I thought, why don't I try it out? The first time I learned a few chords, and eventually, in just a matter of days, I was so in love with the guitar. Even when we used to go for vacations to meet our grandparents and all, so there was no guitar, right? 1 month and I was going crazy, when do I get to touch it? And then I used to like cut wood and destroy a badminton bat, kind of try stuff.
Wow.
So I was really going crazy,
Yeah.
so I knew that music was like already in me. So as soon as I reached back home, I would be like,
On it.
So yeah, that was the beginning of the whole musical journey.
Right. You talked about being in school and then um, basically piano not drawing a crowd as much as
That wasn't
all the pianists
biased,
listening.
yeah.
All the pianists listening to
I'm
this.
sorry, it has nothing to do with the piano, but how I was playing it.
So at what time?
That was the first phase,
Probably, yeah.
So-
I know what you mean. Yeah.
So you
I played
should-
my Casio too. It drew nobody. Yeah, I know. Did you? Were you only listening exclusively to Eagles and?
Yeah, initially I think that 1 year or 2 years, I was completely dedicated to Eagles actually. And it's later on when I was in standard 7th, 8th, like that, when I got introduced to stuff like Bon Jovi and Maiden and all. And I started enjoying imitating their voice a lot. The thing was, I had a small recorder, it's like cassette recorder. I used to record myself and listen to it and I would never stop until I felt like it was
Exactly,
kind of
yeah.
sounding a little bit like that. It's only later on when I was my first band, Anarchy. I had a band named Anarchy. It was in class 9. We formed that band. My brother was the drummer. And we were looking for a vocalist. And I was the rhythm guitar. I was the bassist actually. We had a guitarist. We were auditioning vocalists, and we just gave up, because at that time there was this huge punk scene happening. Green Day, Blink 182,
Some 41.
there's some 41. So everyone was into that kind of singing, okay. But we were looking for someone
Who could
who
sing?
could do Bruce Dickinson and stuff, right? And then we just said, let's take a few days break. Anyway, come to my house, my guitarist said, and then we started jamming, like, why don't you sing, Girish? And then I started singing. He scolded me. What the hell is this, man?
You've been making us look for a vocalist.